so nice to have you join us this morning on the program Daybreak Africa, reaching you live on television Nigerian. And of course, it's a beautiful Wednesday morning, the 26th day of February.
Good morning, Aisha.
Morning, Priscilla.
How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Africa. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, like Aisha said, and today it's the Ash Wednesday. The Catholic faithfuls always celebrate this day as Ash Wednesday. That's to tell you that Easter is very close by. And then today is a very special occasion because all the Catholics you would see on the road with the ash on their head are wearing black today, and it's because
is that why you're appearing in black?
Exactly, it's because of the incessant killings in Nigeria. Right. So in some kind of way, it's all speaking out and lending our voices.
Of course, we do have to lend our voices. We have to let the government know that this is what we're facing, and then they should actually do something about it.
Yes, there's been so many killings, and it's come to the point where it's not even something that we can shy away from. It's not even something we can pretend about. It's a fact, and something has to be done.
But then, before we go into details of all of that, Ash Wednesday and other things we'd love to discuss on the program, let us check out what's happening on Headline News. Well, this is still Daybreak Africa, reaching you live on television Nigerian. And that was Headline News. We saw a lot of stories emanating from the country, Nigeria.
Exactly.
Like we always say on this program, we keep hearing stories day in, day out, something happening, one thing or the other. And then one very important one that actually caught my attention there is the court sentencing Olisa Metsu to 7 years jail term. The Federal High Court in Abuja has on Tuesday sentenced former spokesman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Olisa Metsu, to 7 years jail term. The trial judge, Justice Okon Abang, found him guilty of all the charges filed against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). That's indeed a sad one.
Yes, it's actually very,
but then it's good
sad.
for democracy, for our governance.
Yeah, and also it's a big step, it's a big stride towards the fight against corruption.
Yeah, we're now convicting people who have been found guilty, and then now 7 years in jail.
I hope this, deters some people that actually are perpetrating such acts. I hope it gives them a wake-up call, you know.
And then we're still talking about a lot of issues in the polity. And then this other one is that of the National Assembly. The National Assembly moves to confer immunity on Speaker, Senate President. Members of the House of Representatives have moved closer to conferring immunity on the Speaker of the House and President of the Senate. The bill to confer immunity on the two leaders of the legislative arm of the Nigerian government scaled second reading on Tuesday despite opposition.
Wow.
Now, immunity on the two leaders of the Senate and then the House of Representatives. I think this whole immunity clause that we keep on, our Constitution approves, or they actually go through the lawmakers.
I don't even think immunity is fair for democracy.
No, but then again, I know they're in power, and they have certain rights and the opportunity to do certain things. But then putting this whole immunity clause on them, they can do whatever they want to do without the law really catching up with them, because there is that immunity clause. And now, although it has scaled the second reading, and then a lot of members of the House some of them are maybe opposing it, but then again, it's Nigeria, and I feel eventually these immunity clause that for the two leaders of the both houses. I think eventually they're going to get the immunity clause.
But if they're actually leading the people and if they're being fair and everything, I don't think they need this immunity thing. Why are we striving to get immunity for doing the right thing? What's the point of this immunity? You know, what are we afraid of?
All right.
Exactly.
Well, the DSS finally breaks silence on the arrest of two sons of CJN Tanko Muhammad. The Department of State Services, DSS, has reacted to the viral news that its operatives arrested two sons of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Muhammad. The two sons of the CJN, Sirajo and Sani Tanko, were arrested by DSS operatives to force their father to reverse the recent Supreme Court judgment on Bayelsa State.
Wow. Now that is something. I'm never able to comprehend this whole DSS thing.
And then the arrest of the CJN sons.
How come this, what does his sons have to do with his own ruling? What do they have to do with the Supreme Court? They're just his children. So why did DSS arrest him?
So, you know, the thing is, I remember when I was in school we had some people who were law students, and then one of the major fears they had was with regards to, okay, maybe eventually you become a judge or something, and then maybe you pass a particular verdict that doesn't sit well with people, with a lots of people, and then your family is at risk, your children and all of that, and this is what's happening with the CJN now.
This is really bad.
With regards to the Bayelsa elections verdict. So I don't know. I really do not understand. But it's like every profession has their own risk.
Yeah, but then
even journalists, we journalists, we're scared too.
Yeah, but why is the DSS arresting his sons?
Well, I really do not know. Do not know what to say with regards to that.
Maybe they should arrest somebody. Maybe they should arrest him. I'm just feeling like it's wrong. It's wrong. This is like blackmail in some sort of way. You get it? And it's the DSS.
Well, there's this other story that is actually interesting to me. We just talked about the two leaders of the National Assembly, that's the Senate and then the House of Representatives. And now, Femi Gbajabiamila has actually said something that is in line with a lot of Nigerians. We can no longer stand for the brutality of Nigerians by police. That's Gbajabiamila saying that. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has noted that the House would not allow the police brutalize innocent Nigerians. Gbajabiamila stated this during a public hearing conducted by the House Committee on Police Affairs on enhancing the police force for better service delivery. Wow. This is actually a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Because for the longest time, we Nigerians have actually complained about police brutality.
And recently there was a situation with SARS and a footballer. I don't even know what to think about that
case. They are still investigating that particular issue. A footballer in is it Ondo State, and then according to reports we're hearing is a SARS operative that actually shot him. This is all part of harassment and police brutality that we're talking about.
Exactly.
Extrajudicial killings.
The thing is, SARS, if I'm being honest, I don't know why SARS, like around my house, I always see SARS on the road. They don't wear uniforms. They just carry guns.
Most of them do not wear uniform. They
just carry guns. And you know how scary that is? Just seeing some man carrying gun and the person can harass you and do
because
whatever.
Naturally you just think the person is a civilian.
I saw some young men in their van and I was like, what if they just arrested these ones? He gets. Because this guy, the young men were looking all dressed up. So I'm guessing maybe they saw them looking all dressed. They're like, hey, come here and all of that. That is just wrong. And then whenever they see young men driving cars looking nice, they always feel like, oh, this one is a Yahoo boy.
Which is not right. You don't judge people like that. You don't.
Because a friend of mine was saying, with these SARS guys on the road all the time, when I buy a car, maybe I buy a car now and then they start asking me questions like, you know, where did you get this car from and stuff. They do that. And then when you try to explain what you do, they say it's a lie. That's what. And
then later they'll tell you there's accidental discharge of the firearm. And I'm wondering how did this even happen? How? We're facing a lot of police brutality, and I'm actually excited that the Speaker of House of Representatives has actually come out to say police brutality. Was saying no to it.
Yes.
Well, on a lighter note, the Nigerian Air Force has with regards to fights against curbing insurgency, NAF kills Boko Haram members that attacked Garkida in Adamawa State. Nigerian Air Force fighter jets have killed some of the Boko Haram fighters that attacked and killed many residents of Garkida community in Adamawa State recently. The terrorists were killed in an airstrike carried out by Nigerian Air Force fighter jets in Sambisa Forest in Borno State. I think if you ask me, this is actually some good news.
Yeah, this is actually good news. I'm excited about this one because all this insurgency and everything is just a lot, and I like the fact that something is being done. That's great.
Yeah, because for the longest time we've had to deal with Boko Haram attacks, especially in Maiduguri, Borno State, Adamawa, and all those other states. And then I'm wondering, when are we going to actually sit back and then relax, have it at the back of our mind, okay, we're done dealing with terrorists? When is that going to be? When is that going to happen? Although the administration of our President Muhammadu Buhari, they've been making giant strides with regards to curbing, fighting terrorism, even seeking help from international organizations, international bodies. But then I feel this whole terrorism fight is not something that we're going to win today. It's not something that we're hopefully in the shortest period of time we get to win it. We get to win this fight against our insurgency because we're losing a lot of Nigerians and it's not fair. It's really unfair.
Yes, it is.
Well, there's so much that we can talk about today. And then, it's not just about Nigeria. We have to talk about every other country, especially in Africa.
Exactly.
But before we go into that, on this program, we always give you, say, bits. Maybe something to talk about with regards to your welfare, health, right? And then healthy living is up next. Stay with us. Cucumbers have a mild, refreshing taste and a high water content. They can help relieve dehydration and are pleasant to eat in hot weather. Welcome to another episode of Healthy Living on Daybreak Africa. I am Chiwendu Osisiago, and today we shall be discussing the health benefits of cucumber. Cucumber is a member of the Cucurbitaceae family. Other members of the family include squash and different kinds of melon, including bitter melon. Cucumbers provide various nutrients but low in calories, fats, cholesterol, and sodium. People in India have grown cucumbers for food and medicinal purposes since ancient times. Now, what are the benefits of cucumber? Hydration. Cucumber consists mostly of water, and they also contain important electrolytes. They can help prevent dehydration in hot weather or after a workout. For people who do not enjoy drinking water, adding cucumber and mint can make it more attractive. Vitamin K helps with blood clotting, and it may support bone health. A 142-gram cup of chopped and peeled raw cucumber provides 10.2 micrograms of vitamin, according to the United States Department of Agriculture. Cucumber also contains 19.9 milligrams of calcium. Adults need 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day, depending on sex and age. As a member of the Cucurbitaceae family of plants, cucumbers contain high levels of bitter-tasting nutrient known as cucurbitacin. A 133-gram cup of chopped cucumber with its skin also provides around 1 gram of fiber. Fiber may help protect against colorectal cancer. The American Heart Association notes that fiber can help manage cholesterol and prevent related cardiovascular problems. A 142-gram cup of unpeeled cucumber also provides 193 milligrams of potassium and 70 milligrams of magnesium. Cucumbers may play a role in controlling and preventing diabetes. It contains substances that may help lower blood sugar or stop blood glucose from rising too high. One theory is that
Cucumber helps to regulate insulin release and the metabolism of hepatic glycogen, a key hormone in the processing of blood sugar. One study found that cucumber peel helped manage the symptoms of diabetes in mice. This may be due to its antioxidant content. Cucumber may have anti-inflammatory benefits. Inflammation is a function of the immune system. Experts believe inflammation may help trigger the development of various health conditions such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and depression, cancer. Some research has suggested that cucumber's nutrients may provide benefits for skin health. Applying sliced cucumber directly to the skin can help cool and soothe the skin and reduce swelling and irritation. It can alleviate sunburn placed on the eye. They can help decrease morning puffiness. Antioxidants help remove substances from the body known as free radicals. Some free radicals come from natural bodily processes and some come from outside pressures such as pollution. If too many collect in the body, they can lead to cell damage and various types of disease. Studies have suggested that the lignans in cucumber and other fruits may help lower the risk of cardiovascular diseases and several types of cancer. And that's the much we have for you today on Healthy Living on Daybreak Africa. I am Chirandu Osisiego. Don't forget that you can follow us on our social media platform on Facebook and on YouTube at Television Nigerian and also on Twitter at TV Nigerian. Many thanks for watching. Daybreak Africa continues shortly.
Welcome back. It's still Daybreak Africa on Television Nigerian, and that was Healthy Living. So yes, now you know all the benefits of cucumber. So if you are one of those people that does not like veggies, then you need to change your mind, because veggies are very, very healthy and they're good for your bodies. Aisha, what do you think? Do you like cucumbers?
Of course I do. I actually take it. I've actually heard about the health benefits associated with it, so I do.
That's lovely.
And then with that particular report on it, so I think more now, I'll take it more. I have to take it more.
Of course.
So we're still talking about the news making the rounds, and then earlier we talked about Olisa Metu, we talked about the CJN, we also talked about the immunity clause for the leader of the House of Representatives and also the leader of the Senate. So would love for you, our darling viewers out there, to go ahead and drop your comments. We want to hear from you. What do you think about all of these stories that we've been talking about all day, all morning? On Facebook, it's Television Nigerian. We're here, we're reading your comments, and we're going to dissect them.
Exactly.
Okay, so consultant doctors embark on nationwide strike. That's a sad one there. The Medical and Dental Consultant Association of Nigeria, MDCAN, on Tuesday embarked on indefinite nationwide industrial action. The consultant doctors declared the strike due to the National Universities Commission's requirement that clinical lecturers must acquire a PhD as a condition for career progression in the Nigerian university system. This is actually a sad one, because I don't like it when I keep hearing of strike actions, industrial actions, and then I'm wondering, okay, now this is with regards to medical association. What about the patients at the hospital? Who's going to treat them?
These are consultant doctors, so yes, they have work to do every day, and there are people that depend on them. I'm actually very, very sad at this.
And I think the university should go into this. They should look at it more, and then they should come out with a solution.
Yes, a solution.
Just so we avoid this whole industrial actions we keep facing by workers.
Strikes happening here and there.
They should actually find a balance, yeah? It doesn't have to resort to strike actions, because when you think about it holistically, it's the patients that suffer. Yes, because
the people
that suffer. Well, We hope they find a solution to that. The House of Assembly Speaker resigns in Kaduna State. According to reports, it has been informed that at this time, the Kaduna State House of Assembly Speaker, Honorable Aminu Abdullahi Shagali, has resigned his position. The development was confirmed by sources from the Assembly, noting that the Speaker had declared his resignation just before the commencement of the plenary session on Tuesday morning.
Wow.
This is actually, I don't know, I'm forced to laugh about this.
Like,
we keep hearing this back and forth resignation from speakers of State House of Assemblies, and then I'm wondering, what's happening?
yeah, so what's making all these people resign? I mean, these positions are positions they worked hard for, and then at this point, they're resigning on their own.
Although, we also say it on this program that at times, you have to actually look deep. These are speakers, and then if you ask me, I think they take orders from the state governors, whether we like it or not. So if they are forced to resign, maybe they do not agree. They do not agree. And then we have the other House members who are there, and then maybe one or two things, there's no agreement.
It's always very tiring, all of these things, because you never actually know what the real thing is, what the truth is.
All you just hear is someone has resigned, and then you're wondering, okay, so why is this person resigning?
Politics is definitely something that is vast and is very, very, very challenging.
And at times it's confusing because you don't even get to hear the full story. You just hear one side, and then maybe later on you hear the other side, and you're wondering, how is this happening?
How is this happening? Well, the thing is, still talking in politics, this whole immunity clause thing. There's been, some people have been saying a lot, and personally, I feel like since this immunity clause is supposed to protect these men while they're in office and prevents them from being distracted, like some people would say. I don't feel like we should wait for somebody to leave a political position before, whatever it is they're doing wrong is tackled. Why do we have to wait? Why do they get the chance, to do everything they want? And then the more they feel like they are not going to be caught and, they have immunity, then they do more and more, oppress the people, do whatever it is they want. And they know they are perfectly fine because they have immunity. And then after they leave their political office, then we now come back and start probing them and start doing this and
then
that. And then sometimes they've had the time to cover their tracks. They've had the time to do a lot of things, a lot of damage.
And then the judiciary is now faced with all of these cases. We have a lot of pending cases. So I think, we do have a report on this whole immunity clause thing. We have a report on whether the Nigerian Senate whether the House of Assembly should actually go ahead and permit its leaders, give them immunity clause. But we have a report on that. Stay with us.
The House of Representatives on Tuesday passed for second reading the bill seeking the amendment of the 1999 Constitution in order to extend immunity to the presiding officers of the legislature. Presenting the bill was Honorable Odebumi Olusegun, who explained that the bill seeks to protect the institution of the legislature from distractions caused by unnecessary legal actions against them.
For our democracy to continue flourishing, no action meant to strengthen the extending immunity to the presiding officers of the National and the State Assembly is not meant of shielding them from answering any question generated by their actions or preventing members of the House from exercising their power of choosing or changing the leadership when required as provided for the law by a genuine way of protecting the most scarce institution in democracy.
The bill, titled An Act to Alter Section 308 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to extend immunity to cover presiding officers of legislative institutions and for related matters, came through second reading after several debates by lawmakers.
It is totally unnecessary, and I agree with the speaker who spoke just before me. We do not need any immunity now. We have a thriving rule of law. To have a workable judiciary system. There's no reason why a sitting governor or a president should not go to jail in Nigeria. We are encumbered with that, and yet we are talking about granting principle of presiding officers immunity in this country. I don't think it is even necessary. Don't talk about whether we are right or not.
Only say that since we are in the process of constitutional amendment, I would plead that we subject this as part of the constitutional amendment. Let us not look at it as a bill separate on its own, And then just like we have allowed other constitutional amendment to go through, we allow it, and then we go to hear what Nigerians would say as a consensus, then we equally go to hear what every other person, but jettison it, and we throw it completely, because it will be sending wrong signal. While some people are breaking issues about how Boko Haram is ravaging our communities, they were here talking about somebody being given immunity by President Osa.
Guana, TVN News.
Well, this is still Daybreak Africa, reaching you live on television Nigeria. And now the Inspector General of Police, Adamu, has taken major action after killing of Remo Stars defender. You'd recall earlier in the program we did talk about the killing of a particular footballer. The IGP, Abubakar Adamu, has ordered the closure of all police zonal intervention squad ZIS satellite offices. ZIS is a special unit under the Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG Zone 2, that operate mostly around border communities of Lagos and Ogun states. Wow. I feel it's actually sad that we had to lose a particular football player.
And I heard that...
And then it's involving the police.
Yeah, I heard that during the... some people came out, I think, to complain. Some others were having some kind of parade and stuff. And I heard 2 other people.
And then I actually saw in the news yesterday there was a protest with regards to that.
Yes,
and then someone was killed in the process.
2 other people were killed. Who killed these people?
You see, I think it's high time we started being more responsible. As much as I identify with the plight of these people who are aggrieved, I feel you don't just go out and carry out protests because you don't know what's going to happen eventually. That protest, a protest went on and now 2 people had to lose their lives. Well, it was totally uncalled for.
I think it's not the people's fault. When the people are aggrieved, the best way to express themselves is by coming out and protesting. I feel like people that...
But then I think it should be peaceful protest.
Well, I don't exactly know if it was peaceful or not, but I still feel like protest
if it was, then they wouldn't have lost anybody.
We've seen peaceful protests that people still got shot and stuff. It might be that maybe they were not on the right side with the police or something. I'm not saying that's the reason why somebody got killed. All I'm saying is people got killed. Why did people get killed? That's just it.
Well, I don't know. Rest in peace to the deceased. Well, we did ask you to drop your comments, and as you know, today is Ash Wednesday. So Victor here is saying Happy Ash Wednesday, and then Moses is saying feels good spending this beautiful morning with Daybreak Africa. God bless Television Nigeria, and God bless Nigeria. And then also Quest dropped a comment. Quest said, I like the fact that the voice of the church is becoming louder and louder every day. Wearing black on Ash Wednesday says a lot. Bravo, happy Ash Wednesday. And then Priscilla also said, there's Priscilla Kalechi here, not the Priscilla I have on set. Okay, well, Priscilla says, nice set, nice visuals, nice presentation, good job, guys. It's actually a good thing to know that we have people who see what we're doing and then they identify with us.
Yes, everybody always likes it when they get some accolades.
I know, right? So I guess it's a kudos to Television Nigeria.
Definitely.
Well, okay, so the ex-Egyptian leader Hosni Mubarak has died. Former Egyptian president who ruled with the North African country for almost 30 years, Hosni Mubarak, has died at the age of 91. Mubarak was forced to step down as president after a popular revolution in 2011 known as the Arab Spring Revolution. I saw it in the news yesterday.
I did too.
And then I was like, oh, this particular fierce leader, he has passed.
Well, that just shows that every man must die, no matter how powerful, no matter how much immunity you have. At some point, every man must die.
And then just yesterday in the news, there were lots of reports about him. You know, that's the thing about when someone passes, yeah. You get to see even things you didn't even know about this particular person before now. You get to see them making the rounds in the news. Some are negative reportage, while others are positives. But then it makes the person more popular. You get to know a lot about them. Like, you'd recall when Kobe Bryant died. Some people didn't even really know who he was or what he did as at the time he was alive. But then,
some people didn't even know him well enough. They just knew he was a basketballer. People didn't really know the details. But when he died, then we started hearing stuff about the Black Mamba and Although some people that are his diehard fans were more at that point, it was more sorrow, but for some people it was more enlightening. Oh, this guy, you know. So yeah.
And then I don't know, is it just me? This February, is it a Black February? I don't know.
Honestly,
we've been recording a lot of death, and then I'm wondering what's happening. I know everyone has to taste death eventually, but then I feel this February it's a bit.
Just, the thing is, I feel like people die every time, but we're beginning to hear a lot of popular people in the forefront are dying, people in the limelight. So I think that's why it's now becoming something that is we're more conscious about.
Well, I think we can only just hope that maybe we get to do our own parts before death comes calling, yeah?
Exactly.
So, we're still talking about security issues, and now security is always on the forefront burner, and the Senate is not relenting on its effort to fight insecurity, and have decided to consider this particular report. We'll have a security report with regards to the Senate. They are deciding to consider a particular discourse with regards security. So let us look at it, and then we'll be right back.
President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has disclosed that the Senate may next week consider the report of an ad hoc committee on security challenges with a view to finding solutions to Nigerian security problems. Lawan made the disclosure during Tuesday's plenary sequel to the consideration of a motion brought to the floor by Senator Aishatu Dahiru Ahmed. The Senate had on January 29, 2020 set up an ad hoc committee chaired by the Senate leader Yahaya Abdullahi to interface with the security agencies on the level of insecurity in the country and report back to the upper chamber within 2
Just any time, as soon as the report is ready, I believe by next week probably the report will be ready. We are going to look at the report of the ad hoc committee and take those important and very valuable resolutions, and of course engage with the executive arm of government.
According to Lawan, the Senate will engage with executive arm of government on the resolutions of the ad hoc committee as contained in its report. While coming under matters of urgent public importance, Senator Aishatu Ahmed bemoaned attacks of Gombe local government area of Adamawa senatorial district by an insurgent group armed with 7 gun trucks and motorcycles on February 21st, 2020.
Worried that the Garkida crisis, which has led to the destruction of lives and property, were planned by the insurgents to have a religious connotation, considering that churches and residences of some prominent indigents were burnt.
According to lawmakers, 3 soldiers were killed in the dastardly attacks, while properties worth millions of naira were burnt or destroyed, including public hospitals, school, telecommunication facilities, police station, and so on. Subsequently, the Senate, in a 3-point resolution, urged the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, to re-establish a military command base in Gakida and also all major settlements bordering the Sambisa forest.
There is nothing more important than life, not even infrastructure. Life is more important than anything. So we need to protect the lives of the people that have sent us here, that have made us to be in government.
The upper chamber called on the Northeast Development Commission to immediately embark on rehabilitation of public and religious institutions destroyed and provide assistance to other individuals affected. In another development, Senate will on Wednesday hold a validatory section in honor of late Senator Ignatius Longjam, who died February 10, 2020. This was announced by the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, shortly before he adjourned plenary. Until his death, Senator Longjam represented Plateau South Senatorial District of Plateau State. From the National Assembly, Sandra Guana, TVN News.
Welcome back. There's so much going on there, and I like the fact that there's something being done concerning security and concerning, communities, because the fact is that is the grassroots. That's where everything starts, and I feel like that is where more of our attention should go to. And meanwhile, at this point, we're taking our attention a little bit to coronavirus. Okay, so there's been the first report of coronavirus in Africa. That is just mind-blowing. Before now, I and Aisha have been clamoring for coronavirus to stay everywhere else and not come here. But at this point, the first case has been reported.
In Algeria. And then I'm wondering, I recall on this program we did talk about coronavirus, and then we're saying we're hoping that it doesn't come to Africa because we do not know how to contain this disease. But now there's been a fresh case of coronavirus outbreak in Africa, and it's indeed scary.
Yes, it is scary. And meanwhile, okay, so in the time that coronavirus has come, it's actually very interesting to find out that somebody had actually predicted coronavirus. And just like a lot of things have been predicted, including the death of Kobe Bryant, because we saw some predictions in his own, particularly a cartoon.
And then a certain Dean Coons had actually forecasted this coronavirus in 1981. One would wonder, when did he actually do this, and through which means did he do it? And then he's a literary genius, yeah, and then he wrote a novel a certain time in 1981. The novel is titled The Eyes of Darkness, published in 1981. It's a thriller. And now, if you read that novel very well, you'd know that this particular literary genius, this particular author, had actually talked about the spread and the outbreak of coronavirus in China. And then eventually, it's here.
And it started in China.
But then again, I feel, how do these people imagine these things? Because if you ask me, it's fiction, but then it's coming to reality.
Well, I feel like sometimes for fiction, something inspires it. Like this whole thing with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant used to go everywhere with his helicopter. And then somebody just woke up and predicted that he will have a helicopter crash. And then he had a helicopter crash, and that's how he died. And just like this case, they've had, let's say China, they eat a lot of crazy things. As before being
wild
honest.
animals.
Wild animals and stuff. Maybe somebody was like, okay, so yeah, we've had HIV come from apes, and we've had this come from that and all, and you guys are always eating wild animals. Or maybe you guys will definitely bring another virus for us to tackle. Maybe that was the idea in the person's head. I don't want to believe that it's a conspiracy theory or anything, because a lot of people have these theories and have this, and I don't want to believe that that's what it is.
But then again, I think it's a bit weird and it's strange. It makes me cringe a bit to think that someone would actually imagine these things and then eventually maybe give it, say, a decade or two, then these things they had actually predicted comes to pass.
Aisha was actually speaking on aliens earlier today. She was like, since everybody's predicting stuff and they're happening, maybe people that are predicting,
who knows, aliens, maybe our planet aliens will soon storm our planet, and then we're wondering,
that would be interesting. The fact is, for the longest times, the whole thing with aliens has been like a myth. A lot of people do not believe that, and even in our religious books, we don't have any kind of talk about aliens. So a lot of people just say like, it's science fiction and all of that. But since you're saying it's possible, and if we're being honest, we've had some cases where we see some kind of CSOs, or what do they call them, in the air with all these unidentified flying objects, UFOs, they call them UFOs. So yes, we don't know, we honestly just don't.
But then again, would love to hear from you, our honorable viewers out there. What do you think about this particular author, Dean Coons, who had in 1981 in his novel, a thriller, had actually predicted this particular disease, the outbreak of coronavirus? What do you think about it? Do you think it's just a weird coincidence, or maybe he has some super magical powers? I don't know, but would love to hear from you. So we're reading your comments. It's Television Nigeria on Facebook. And then speaking of comments, we have a new comment here from Ayodele Adumbari Sheon. He says, enjoy Daybreak, everyone feeling blessed. Okay, thank you so much for enjoying the program. I think that's what he meant. And then Moses again is saying Nigeria needs to intensify measures to avert the coming of that virus into the country. It now looks like there is a deliberate attempt to spread it around. Well, that's Moses saying that. Like I said earlier, I don't think Africa is ready for this particular virus, because if it's in Algeria already, soon enough it may be in Nigeria, and we're not ready.
Well, let's just hope for the best, and we hope that the government is doing something to curb it if it does come, because we all know that it's in the hands of the government, our health operatives and everything. So let's just do our best. And meanwhile, at this point, we're moving on to entertainment news as usual.
It's Posh Bites Entertainment News on Television Nigeria.
No. Well, let's get to Posh Bites Entertainment News. We'll be right back. This is Posh Bites Entertainment News on Television Nigerian, and I am Priscilla Adeshola. And right here you get all the lowdown of all the trending entertainment stories that you should definitely be talking about. So yes, first off, there are 1,000,001 ways to show your wife that you love her. And Kunle Afod just went all out. He just bought his wife a new car, and she shared the message via her Instagram page, thanking her hubby and saying how much she loves him. So yes, to all of you out there that are single, this one is to pepper you guys. Alright, so Nigerian socialite Pretty Mike has said something that will make you wonder. So he wrote via Instagram, and I quote, "I don't know who needs to hear this. A beautiful lady isn't meant for only one man. So to keep one to yourself in this Lagos, you must be capable of doing what 11 men can do. Let's be guided." Do you agree with Pretty Mike? Well, I actually feel like sometimes, there are some girls that, one guy cannot take care of their expenses. They need like a couple of guys, one for the hair, one for the makeup, and one for... So Nollywood actress Eniola Badmus just called out weight loss pill vendors, urging them to use her as a project so the world can see if their pills really work and stop using people who are already slim and trim. Like, I honestly have a problem with all these brands using people who already have amazing skin, great hair and everything to sell their products. I mean, if you really want to prove that something is good, then use somebody that does not have that. So when the person gets better, then we can be like, oh yeah, this actually works. So it's not news that Naira Marley's Twitter account was hacked, but it's been verified in less than 19 hours, and Naira Marley's fans, aka the Malians, are calling him a legend, because we all know verifications don't come easy. The social media trolls can be a bummer, and as one just came after Cardi B's daughter saying she's not cute at all, but Cardi B did not ignore. She hit back at the troll, telling her baby is the cutest she knows, and cursed the troll. But this troll still replied saying it's an opinion, but Cardi B lashed out at her even more. I mean, internet trolls really need to know when to give it a rest. So you would never have believed a day would come when Yul Edochie would troll his father, Peter Edochie, on Twitter. So after Peter Edochie said men who kneel down to propose are fools, social media went wild, and Yul Edochie reacted with the funniest meme. He said, "When you want to kneel down to propose and you see Peter Edochie." I actually think that's hilarious. I mean, I want to know if Yul Edochie actually knelt down to propose to his wife. I mean, if we find out, we might actually find out maybe Peter Edochie is just trying to take a jab at his son. I don't know. These things can get interesting when you find out the real details. So Paramount Pictures suspends 3-week Mission Impossible 7 shoot in Venice due to the Italian government's ban on public gatherings because of the recent outbreak and surge in coronavirus. Yes. So according to a press statement, they said they did it so that, the cast and crew would be safe and everything. And yes, I totally agree with them. And there's also been at least 216 reported cases of coronavirus in Italy since the outbreak. So Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder's fight will go down in the history books. After Fury's big win, he has shared a message to his fierce partner, which read, "Love and respect to the dance partner of the century." Yes, that's definitely an epic, amazing, first social media post since their fight. So Kobe and Gigi Brandt's memorial service took place on Monday, the 24th of February at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, and tons of celebrities and fans showed up. Beyoncé gave the most heartwarming performances of her hit singles, Halo and EXO. And her nail art was in honor of Gigi and Kobe. Now, Kobe's wife, who was said to have sued the helicopter company asking for punitive damages, claiming the pilot and Island Express were reckless, gave the most touching tribute at the memorial. Now, this is one story that is very, very sad, and I don't think the world will get over this very quickly. Now, we've come to the end of today's episode of Posh Bites Entertainment News. Hope you had a good time. I did. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, like, subscribe, and always remember, God loves you.
Well,
I hope
so
you're
much,
entertained.
so much in the
Well,
world of
first off, Pretty
entertainment.
Mike saying, girls, that if you have a beautiful lady, it's not only you that will have her, unless you're capable of doing what 11 guys can do. What do you think?
No, I think Pretty Mike, he has a loud mouth.
What?
That's just what I think.
But you recall that somebody
he
else
has really strong opinions, and then they're
true.
crazy.
You recall somebody else on social media, I think yesterday or so, came online and said if you cannot give your girlfriend 200,000
Yeah, I saw that.
Exactly. So yes, I think a lot of people are agreeing with this. So even guys.
Well, okay, I think we should throw it out there. What do people really think with regards to what Pretty Mike is saying? If you have a girlfriend, you need 11 people to handle her. I don't know. I don't understand. I really do not understand. But then we'd love to hear your views on what's Pretty Mike is saying. And then with regards to the other gentleman who came out on social media just yesterday to talk about every guy, if you must date a girl, you have to give her 200,000 naira as weekly allowance.
I mean, some people don't earn 1,000 naira in a month. And then
but what do you really think about that?
Well, I think it depends on the girl. Cut your coat according to your size. Date your size. Don't go for somebody that will ruin you, make you bankrupt. Go for somebody that you get what I mean. I know you get what I mean.
That's true. Okay, so moving on to the other story, the Gigi Bryant and Kobe Bryant memorial. Yesterday, I saw the video, and then I was a bit distraught because I'm actually grieving. I'm still mourning a friend I lost, and also just yesterday I was feeling some type of way. I watched the video and then I was like, wow, so Kobe and Gigi are actually gone. And then his wife came out, the mother of Gigi Bryant actually came out. She was crying. She gave out that long speech. And then Beyonce had to perform her epic track, her epic song, Halo.
And
it was
EXO,
a lot
I love
to take in.
EXO as well. That's like one of my favorite songs of all time. Favorite Beyonce song of all time. And I'm actually very, very touched by. I'm very, very touched about this whole Kobe Bryant and Gigi Bryant thing. I don't think in a long time we'll get over it. It's a lot. And at this point, I just feel like when you have somebody around you, just make sure you show them as much love, because you don't know what will happen the next minute.
Right.
I think time and time again, it's been proven that you don't know what's going to happen, and that as much as we claim to have plans, you can be planning something and life can just hit you.
Life can just happen at any time. Exactly. You'd recall Davido actually said something, we should just prepare for the worst, because anything can happen at any time.
Hope for the best.
Hope for the best, but then prepare for the worst.
Well, at this junction, the juncture or
junction, this particular juncture.
I think we have to draw the curtain.
No, before then, we should still talk about this Ash Wednesday thing.
Oh yeah, of course.
But first off, let me ask you: are you Catholic?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so what do you really know about Ash Wednesday?
Not so much. I just like the fact that we're lending our voices against all these incessant killings. That's what drew my attention. But before now, I know it's a Catholic practice. I know they do it, once it's almost time for Easter. That's actually what makes me know, okay, Easter is coming. It's like an Easter is coming heads up.
Okay.
That's all I know about it.
So your concern now is the whole Ash Wednesday thing is giving you a heads up. Easter is coming.
Easter is actually coming. We need to start preparing for all the chicken and stuff.
Okay, on that delightful note, let us go and prepare for Easter, yeah? But, oh no, this is February now. We can't prepare for Easter in February.
Of course, right. You need to save. Besides, all these guys that have girlfriends, they have to give 200K.
Yeah, right, the 200K thing.
Exactly. Even if you don't do it weekly, do it Easter week,
Oh, Valentine week.
No, Valentine week has
gone already.
And all of them did not do it Valentine, because we did not get any 200,000.
Don't worry.
The only thing they gave me was ice cream.
The Lord will be your strength. Well, on that delightful note, we do hope that you've been informed, entertained, educated. Of course, it's your #1 program, Daybreak Africa on television Nigeria. We'll always bring you up to speed on what's happening in and around Africa, not just Nigeria. We do hope to come your way tomorrow, bright and early, with another interesting. You don't want to miss it. You want to stay here tomorrow.
And another thing you want to and need to do is follow us on our social media platforms. Like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you keep in touch. Let's get to know you out.
And then on our website is www.tvn.news. We'd love for you to follow us. Go to our YouTube page. Watch all of our programs. We want to hear from you.
And it has been a delightful time with you. I'm Priscilla Ajay Shala.
And I'm Aisha Saliu. Have a blessed day ahead.